Everybody's talking about how Lando Norris is dominating this year. No, he's not. He lost last week,
Right.
and even week one, this guy was pressing him, Piastri. If I were Lando Norris, I'll be sleepless now because there's more pressure on Norris. If Piastri loses, they'll say, "Oh, it's okay, young boy." If Norris loses, he's going to be embarrassed, and he's always afraid to lose. So what I'm seeing now is that this is do or die. If Piastri wins and beats Norris in Japan, Norris will never recover it. Not because he's not a good driver, he's mentally fragile. Norris is better at qualifying than Piastri, but lately Norris has been bailing out of qualifying, and I'll say it again, it's because that car has so much front grip, and the car has more bite. It's become like the Red Bull car, and this guy has been looking uncomfortable behind that car. He's had floor damage. He's had barely qualifying by waiting to the last minute to qualify, which is why Piastri beat him in qualifying. And that floor damage was because he went on the curbs in the sprint. He's having trouble controlling that car.
Yeah, of course, Lando, we know him to have sort of like a choke mentality. When it comes to the punch, we see it every time, even when he gets pole, getting around the first corner first is always a challenge for him. He was fortunately able to do it in Australia, which we would think gave him some kind of a confidence boost. And he had said even before the season started that he's coming in with the confidence of someone who knows that he could win the championship. But this entire season is so tight. I think all these cars are beating each other by 100th or by a 10th over one lap for qualifying.
But so he's going to have to get pole position. But the point that I'm making, though, is that the McLaren car is not as controllable as it was last year. It now has bite, and it seems like Piastri's dealing better with it than Norris. And he's been having problems controlling that car. Like he barely gets in a lot of in the Q3s. Even when he wins, it always comes down to the last second because he's pushing the car harder than he has to, and he started making more errors. What do you think? Yeah.
My problem with Lando Norris is he's very error prone, and the Suzuka circuit is very unforgiving.
You can't fall asleep on that circuit, man.
You can't fall asleep because it's a very technical circuit. You have to be on your game from start to finish, and there's only one DRS zone. So overtaking is going to be a very big challenge. So for someone like Norris, my hopes are not very high, but Piastri looks a bit more settled.
Yeah, he's more settled. And right now, Piastri is just as good as Norris. And so what that means is, once again, there's no number one on that team.
And also had would have another knock in his confidence after that braking system error that he had at the end of the Chinese GP. Which is I think is going to be in his head throughout the race.
Well, it's already in his head. Look at what Norris said. Norris is getting mad because people are calling him a car merchant. They say you're only winning the fastest car. He's like, well, that's not true. Our car is not that fast. So it shows he's thinking about it too much. He should just be saying, I'm happy I'm winning. Then he said, I'm in George, because George Russell said there's no way they can beat McLaren. That means I'm in his head. I'm in his head. The more he's talking, the more it's clear that he's panicking. What do you think, Lorato? Then we'll go to Kunle.
Yeah, I think... Norris is... Then
we'll go after you. Sorry, Kunle, go ahead.
So Norris is a senior driver, and Piastri is the upstart. And I think it will come to a head in this race. I suspect that these two are going to dominate the qualifiers. I think it's going to be a 1-2 McLaren. I think Russell and Verstappen are going to fight it out. Between the two of I think those are going to be the top four drivers in this race. Yeah. And Piastri, well, he is gaining confidence. But I still think Norris is a more talented driver. But as to who is going to dominate, I think that after this race, we'll be able to start saying whether it's actually going to be Norris or Piastri.
But here's what I believe. So McLaren has done the long-term. They know that their long-term driver, I'm not talking about this year, is Piastri. So they don't want to piss him off. They know that probably Norris should be able to beat him. But Piastri's manager is, what's that guy from Weber? Weber said, it's not going to happen like they did me. None of my drivers is ever going to do what Sebastian Vettel did to me, where they made me a number two when I could beat him sometimes. So what I'm saying is that McLaren is looking at the long game. Piastri is clear. He's their future driver. He's only been driving for 3 years. And look at him now. He's won a race. He's actually won a qualifying too. He's getting better. His learning curve is fantastic, and he has better driving habits than Norris. So what I'm saying is that this year they're not going to sacrifice, because Piastri has said it. He said that if this year, and he's already backstabbed the team. He backstabbed Alpine. He left and went to McLaren. He said, if these guys fuck around with me, I'll leave. Do you see what I'm saying? So they're scared of Piastri. They don't want to piss him off. What are your quick thoughts on that, Lorato? Then we'll go to Mr. Johnny.
Yeah. I think even with accordance to Piastri's new contract is that he's protected by the contract to not necessarily give Lando preference.
Yeah.
Especially at this early stage where anyone can win the title. So like you rightly say, they're going to be stealing points from each other, and if Lando makes mistakes or his technical team makes mistakes, like the one they did in the Chinese Grand Prix, like I just mentioned, with the braking system and all those things, then they're going to cost him a chance at the championship.
Yeah, I feel bad for Norris because he's been driving for 6 years and he was the driver's driver a couple of years ago. But we'll see what happens. He has a 50-50 shot of winning this year. I'll just put it like that. What are your thoughts, Mr. Johnny?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a McLaren 1-2.
Yeah,
I agree with Kunle that this race is going to be the race that I think even they're going to have him talk it up. Like, okay, this race, you guys, whoever makes the less mistakes or whoever makes the most mistakes, is going to be the driver 2. And then because they have to really protect their championship points. In who, and then also, of course,
I think that. In fact, I'll bet my house that they'll win the constructors. That's not good because no other team has two good drivers. No other team except for Ferrari.